Welcome back to Jamie's Adventures in Dirt 4. My name is Ricky, and today we were supposed to be finishing the 90s International Open, but instead we won't be because I started recording that episode, and then like halfway through that episode it stopped recording, and also I crashed in the middle of the way through the second race, through the second stage, and that was the end of it anyway, so we wound up finishing 21st overall. It wasn't great. Anyway, so in between the last episode that you saw and right now, I played a bunch of Rallycross and made a bunch of money, and because I was able to make a bunch of money, I played a bunch of Rallycross in free play, I should say, and made a bunch of money. And because of this, I was able to hire a new PR agent because my old one was bad and this one is much better. Her name is Hope Lee, and she is currently downbeat because I lost badly in that last one. I'm sure all of them are somewhat not in great. Well, you know, that. Yeah, anyway. So I hired her. I got a new sponsor. I got a message from all of my sponsors saying that they were really thrilled with my performance, which I thought was weird because, like, I finished in 21st place. Whatever. I guess that hope makes them feel really good, and that's why they're a little more optimistic. I don't know. So today, we are going to be taking on the Contemporary Open, and we're going to do the first half in Australia and the second half in Wales. The first half will be this week's episode, and hopefully next week's episode will be the second half.
If you want to get more cars in the garage, prize money here is going to help.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my goal, is to get more cars, but also not that big of a goal.
5,
Okay.
4,
I'll wait for the race to start.
2, 1, go.
Okay, so today I'm going to tell you a quick story about Jamie, hopefully.
Into right 3,
And then I am going to talk a little bit about retconning.
and left 6, 250, dip, right 5, crest, turn, hairpin left, bumps, 60.
Woohoo! Meant to do that. Just drive on the wall. Okay, so first things first, story about Jamie. So, last time you'll remember that Jamie did not do well. We did not do well in the first half of that of the USA, or not USA, the International Open thing.
Keep left over crest.
But you'll also remember that Rousseau did even worse than we did. And I think she was dead last, but I can't 100% remember.
Dip, left 5, into right 3, over crest, and left 4.
And also, but because Jamie didn't do so hot, Maggie thought, well, let's go get a drink, kind of relax,
Crest,
freshen our minds, try and move past it.
dip,
Suffice it to say, it didn't work as well as I think Jamie would like. Although, I mean, two wins, only one stage win, or split so far.
right 5, 60, right 5, long, don't cut.
So, but they did. They went and they saw. They went to some Spanish bar. But before I get into that, I should mention that Jamie is not someone who is a drinker. She doesn't really care about alcohol or booze or anything. You know, like back in high school when, you know, all of her friends were like, yeah, let's go drinking because it was fun and exciting and illegal. She didn't. She just never, she wasn't into partying. She'd rather just drive her car, which is what she did. And also, drinking and driving is wrong and also illegal. And, you know, when she did drink, she got messed up. She couldn't drive, so she hated the idea of not being able to drive. So why should she do something that doesn't allow her to drive? But anyway, but she does drink. She just doesn't do it a lot. And she certainly isn't going to do it if she has to drive. So she goes to this little bar with Maggie, and I will finish the rest of that story in the next race, hopefully.
Awesome result. That was unbeatable.
I'm glad it was unbeatable, but do you see the front of the vehicle? All right, we're in first. And not just barely in first, but ooh, 23.
Chief engineer says just ignore this body damage, running fine.
Okay. I mean, I want to trust Hank, but it doesn't look like it's running fine.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so Jamie and Maggie get there, and they find Rousseau sitting by herself at the bar with Bridge. Woo! Bridge is what did me in the episode that didn't record. Anyway, at the end of the International 90s International Open. So she's sitting by herself. I should point out that Rousseau, whose first name is Michelle, by the way. I don't know why I haven't mentioned that. I've known it for like 3 weeks now. So Michelle, or Rousseau, she prefers to be called Rousseau. Oh, that was bad. We're good. We're good. We're so good. We're so good. Okay. She prefers to be called Rousseau, so I'll just refer to her as Rousseau. So Rousseau was sitting there, and she had a half a bottle of some Spanish beer on, just sitting there. She was half filled. She doesn't drink either, so she thought maybe drinking might help her feel better. It did not, spoiler alert, because it never really does. Because your problems are still there. Anyway, so yeah, so the three of them, rather than stay at this little dive bar, left, and yeah, had a really good time just roaming around on the streets in Spain. Yeah, so I mean, they saw like a Spanish band. Rousseau kind of translated some of the lyrics for them so they understand. Because Maggie and Jamie don't speak Spanish. I should have mentioned that right away. Maybe a little bit of Spanish. Maggie took Spanish in high school. Jamie took French. Maybe that's why she gets along with Rousseau so well. I thought it was the Lost thing, but now that I think about it, it might be because she took French. She mentioned that to me, that she took French, but... Okay. Anyway, so, yeah, they just had a really, really, really good time. And obviously, it worked a little bit for Jamie. Not so much for Rousseau, unfortunately. And this event is not doing so well. But, you know what? It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world, right? Like, racing isn't the end of the world. Anyway, so I also want to talk a little bit about retconning. Because in the second episode, I mentioned that Jamie and Maggie met in the first grade, which is true, because the teacher set them together right next to one another. This is also technically speaking true, but not how they became friends, which is what I said in that first episode. Also, Maggie, you're giving me these calls way too early. Like, way too early. I probably shouldn't be flying down this road. I'm gonna slow down a bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. You know what? Maybe instead of playing on that rallycross. Anyway, so so what I found out later and reported to you, but didn't talk about it in that episode because I didn't really think about talking about it, is that the bully story, the story about Jamie saving her from the bully, that is a more accurate story. I almost slammed into the side there. That is a true... Both of those things are technically speaking true, but one of them is only really true about how they became friends. And that's the bully story that I told like 2 or 3 weeks later. It was good work, by the way. Thank you, Maggie. Yeah, event standings. Let's see where we are. We're still first, but let's see how far forward we are. You know, I'd like a better buffer, but I'll take it. I hope they're solid, because otherwise, I'm heavily relying on those notes.
5, 4,
Jeez.
3, 2, 1, go.
Anyway, so the reason why Jamie told me that they met, because the teacher set them next to each other, and they just became friends that way, was because she didn't really know me all that well. And she just sort of fudged the truth a little bit by telling me the truth, but not the whole truth. You know, I mean, technically speaking, that's how they met, but they did not become friends by just talking immediately. They didn't become friends until the bully incident. And the bully incident was a couple of... I mean, if you want to... You can go watch that episode if you want a full recap of it. But anyway, so
And left 3, don't cut.
if you ever think that I maybe
Right 3,
not
60.
being 100% truthful, or I have like maybe changed the story, I didn't change the story necessarily.
Left, over crest.
Now I might change names on accident because, well, some of these names are not their actual names. I have changed them to protect them.
100,
Because for whatever reason,
over crest.
they didn't want me to give their real name, or maybe
Hairpin left.
um,
Right too long. Tight.
I did not slow down enough. We're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. That was fine, I didn't
Into
stop
left
soon
3,
enough.
Don't cut. Keep right over crest. 80.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that the reason we did so poorly in that last one was the car. Apparently the Subaru Imprezas were terrible in the 90s and got really good.
Don't cut. Keep left over.
Or maybe I need to tune it more? I don't know, get some new parts for it? I don't know. Ooh,
Left 2, 60.
off,
Don't
thank
cut.
you.
Left 3,
So,
don't cut.
like, that's a great example of something that might happen throughout our little adventures here with this whole how they met story, because if Jamie doesn't fully trust me, and she's starting to trust me a lot more. I mean, she told me all about her adventures with Rousseau and
Over crests. 80.
um,
Left 6 into right 5.
and Maggie in Spain, but didn't mention. But I have deliberately tried to keep it vague, just simply because, I mean, it wasn't wild or anything, but it's also kind of inherently personal. You know, it is a cementing of a new friendship between Rousseau and Jamie, or even Rousseau and Maggie, you know, and, you know, Jamie and Maggie for that matter. Boom! I didn't actually mean to hit that last one, but that's okay. Oh. Why is there fencing here? There shouldn't be fencing there. That's okay. We're 18 seconds ahead, so we're good.
Awesome result.
It was an awesome result. It was an amazing result. It was the best result. Yeah, event standings first. I mean, we just crushed the competition, but let's see how Rousseau did. 24th. Ooh, that's not good. Maggie's going to have to, or Jamie's going to have to say something to her. Not like, you got to do better, obviously. Kind words. Get her, you know, up. But on the plus side, we won. And we got some money. Prize money, sponsor money, team deductions, repair costs. Yeah, whatever. Basically, the sponsors covered the repairs. And we leveled up. All right, so that was the first half of the Contemporary Open. We already are in first place. That's 25 points. It's going to be very difficult for us to not have a good, solid, total result here. But that'll be next time. Thank you for watching. Come back soon for more Dirt 4.